The Amityville Horror. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you that the Amityville Horror is the scariest movie ever made, but I will tell you that the Amityville Horror rocked me, scared me, hurt me worse than any movie ever made. And it's kind of embarrassing for me to sit here and admit it to y'all. I'm supposed to be this hardcore horror guy who's seen it all, who can plumb the subtexts and look at it all academically. But no, this one film just turned me into a quivering mess. But I'll tell you who I blame. I blame Leonard Nimoy. Let me explain. See, back in the late 70s and early 80s, there was this show called In Search of ... And it was a news like magazine program that came on Sundays when I wasn't in school at some point during the day. In Search of would explore fun topics like UFOs and the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot, and I enjoyed watching it. Also, it was hosted by Leonard Nimoy, who I had seen on Star Trek and who I knew to be a very smart and serious Vulcan. So I respected everything he had to say. Now, in season 4 of In Search of, they did an episode on the Amityville Horror. It came out just a few months after the film, but I tell you what, I'm not even sure I knew that there was a movie. All I knew was Leonard Nimoy was telling me about a real life haunted house. And Leonard Nimoy was telling me that ghosts existed. And it scared the bejesus out of me. I probably already believed in ghosts because I was a scared little kid. But having Leonard Nimoy tell me on a nonfiction news-esque program that the Amityville Horror was real was pretty much too much for my little mind to comprehend. All the details just stuck with me and they roiled within me, and they made for some very uncomfortable sleepless nights for young Joshua Milliken. Now, fast forward. I'm a college graduate. I'm 22 years old. I don't believe in ghosts anymore. I'm living in this duplex not far from downtown Santa Cruz, and one of my roommates had rented the Amityville Horror. It was just sitting there by the player. I was home all alone, so I was like, all right, I'm going to give this a watch. I don't know how or why, but it just brought me right back to when I was, I don't know, 8, 7, 6 maybe, when I first saw this In Search of rerun, and I was completely mortified yet again. I mean, it wasn't even the movie, although the movie's great. Josh Brolin is like, he's like Nick Cage before Nick Cage. Not Josh Brolin. I'm talking about his dad, but you know what I mean. It's a pretty good flick. But the thing is, it just brought me back to that moment in my life when I was a scared little kid who thought that Leonard Nimoy was telling me the truth about a real life haunting in Amityville. So I'm 22 years old and I lost a whole night's worth of sleep, because of you, Leonard Nimoy. May you rest in peace, you sexy Jew. I love you. You made me believe in ghosts, traumatized me to the point that even as an adult, Amityville traumatized me. As a much older adult now, I think I can handle it. I haven't seen it since, but I think I can handle it. Mainly because I've come to believe that George and Catherine Lutz are a couple of swindlers, along with that guy who wrote the book. I think it's all fiction, although the DeFeo murders were real, and those are quite harrowing on a true crime level. Amityville Horror.